let's go ahead and dive into our top key. I think the top matchup, I think, so far this season, we had Union Catholic versus Saratoga Springs at the Ocean State Invitational. Kind of an upset. I don't know about what your thoughts are, but why is it so important at this point of the season, this matchup that we have seen, especially when we're looking at the national scale?
Looking at, the Ocean State Invitational, I think this was one of the, if not the biggest storylines to take away from this weekend of cross-country racing. If you're looking at this, right, on the girls' side, you have Saratoga Springs, who is competing. They're currently ranked, I believe, U.S. number 7 in our MileSplit 50 girls team rankings. And, they have a history of winning. They won NXN last year. They're the defending champions there. They're always pretty dominant throughout the entire stretch. But then you have Union Catholic come in here, and they take down Saratoga Springs, beating a top 10 team in the nation. Now, if you're looking at how they were able to accomplish this, they scored 32 points, and then Saratoga Springs took second with 45 points. Union Catholic went 2, 5, 6, 13, and 23 overall, and averaged 18-20 there. Mm-hmm. And they're led by a freshman, Liv, which I think is insane. They have Paige Shepard, who's turning out to be just a huge star for them. She finished second behind Saratoga Springs top runner Emily Bush. Mm-hmm. And I think that's really kind of the key for them. And maybe, a good key, having that, kind of that younger group there, while you also have some more experienced athletes like Peyton Hollis and stuff still in that mix as well. And I think this kind of shows that, Union Catholic's going to be much scarier than we expected.
I know. And right now, just based on the rankings that we had, Union Catholic isn't ranked.
No.
They're on our honorable mention. Union Catholic, just looking at the New Jersey side as a whole, are ranked number 1. And the fact that, over Saratoga Springs, as you mentioned, NXN champions last year, but they have the history of having that depth year after year after year after year. So this is kind of a season where I'm curious to see how Saratoga Springs is going to bounce, just knowing that they have Emily Bush. They have a couple of veterans, I guess you can say, on their team, but they're looking to almost rebuild. And it's really fascinating to just see Union Catholic come away with this win, with a solid win, of course, as you mentioned, 18-20 average. Saratoga Springs finished with an 18-33. Paige Shepard is a name that we know from the AAU Junior Olympic Games, and also another freshman in that mix is Kaylee Kaiser. And so she was 13th overall with an 18-36 on that course. You mentioned Peyton Hollis, and then Courtney Kaiser, and then Ella Solorzano, I believe is how you pronounce her last name. So those were your 5 finishers for Union Catholic, and I was just super impressed to see them come away with this win. And just kind of shifting towards the boys race as well, just kind of a side note, the Union Catholic boys look strong too. New Jersey number 2, U.S. number 9. They also won the championship race and completed the sweep, which I thought was fascinating to see both the boys and the girls do great. But Jimmy Wischusen, gosh, excuse me, Jimmy, ran his first race since May.
Yes.
Coming back from injury, and he finished second overall with a 15-12 and was just 6 seconds behind the champion Paul Bergeson. And Union Catholic finished second, 13th, 25th, 43rd, and 44th overall. So I think having Jimmy kind of being absent last year kind of pushed Union Catholic to really elevate themselves to this another level. But I'm happy to see Jimmy is on the cross-country course and just running well.
Yeah, I think the biggest takeaway here is, I think it's always pretty well known that over the past couple of years, Union Catholic boys, that's going to be a squad you really want to watch out for when in terms of looking forward to nationals. Mm-hmm. I think we need to be hey, we need to throw the girls in this conversation as well.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So we're definitely going to have some changes on the MileSplit 50 rankings, which will be dropped